Give it to him.
It's just like a perfect circle, which doesn't really get at all. But never read the crazy I'm hoping it will out. It's my year. I hope it. So what's your place like? Where is it?
It's in San Bernardino.
Wow, so away from here. It's a half-hour drive. I used to work in San Bernardino.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to live in Fontana. So the way I think of it is just 10 minutes added on to each other. I turn on some music and just read the whole way. But it's very nice. I have like it's way bigger than my old room.
Do you want me to plug in the lights?
Yes, would you please?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Then I say, follow the light.
Yes, thank you. Yes. I like to follow it. It gets tired. Oh, this is a big light. Anyway, so follow the light. I like that topic. So you think what it is adding on a little extra section and get your more music up here. Oh, that's right. You have a bigger place. It's bigger than
Before I was just in a little room, a little bathroom, outside.
You got the whole place.
It's a studio.
Because you were sharing out before, right? Great. Yeah, I know. Rents are crazy now. So they're able to find a place.
Yes, it's pretty affordable. Hopefully I can get credit together. Because that was the only barrier with finding an art is my credit.
Yeah. Yeah, I went through a long period of that, like a decade. Really, for a long time, after my divorce from my first wife, I didn't get credit because if I use a credit card, I use it like a check, so I keep track of it. I have a checkbook that I put this on the card, this on the card, so I can always write a check to cover it 100% of it. But then, like, a major life event happened, God ended that, well, I'm not going to let it take care of this. And from there, just started until I met Susie, and then we were able to, kind of start putting our resources down. Yeah, I know I was living on overdraft protection, and barely making monthly payments for years. Yeah.
That's what I'm finding is I have like 10 late payments from when I wasn't working. And so like everything else I've taken care of, but those late payments stay on there for like 7 years. And people are like, what?
appreciate where I was and you know, appreciate the fact that I've made it this far, and you know, because I know everybody, well, I can't say absolutely everybody. There was, in that situation, years of success, nothing. Yeah, that was really frustrating for me because wow, I finally got a really good job. And then this debt from the past. Well, look, it's about time you paid us up. Oh gosh, it was like $5,000. Oh my gosh, it was that $5,000 like 4 years ago? Well, yeah, so yeah, things feel like just not getting ahead of myself.
Mosquito in here.
There is.
Yes, it was in here.
Must have heard about this. Says I gotta hear that Reverend Tracy.
Yeah, that must be it. Actually, it came in and bit my ankles when I was here the other day. It's like I have a bite on the back of my neck and I have like 6 around my ankles. It's like, enough, go away. Okay, I'll be right back.
Patrick is Michelle. Shelley, yeah, right there. See, they're talking to each other. They're married.
Yeah, it was all about.
Okay, I bent this ear thing a little bit, so maybe it'll fit your ear a little better.
Okay.
It'll fiddle with it so much.
I hope so. Let's try. I'll get it in a minute. One step, 2 steps. Okay. Let's see what we got. So I didn't turn it on first.
Yeah, just tap it the one time.
Get it? Did I hit it?
If you hit it once, just don't hit it again.
I don't think I
No,
did.
still didn't on.
Okay.
Okay, try that. Let's let go.
No?
No. Can you see it? It's flashing. Yeah, there we are. You got it. And I hear through it. Okay, good. Let's go. You know, are you looking to the heavens, Richard?
That must be it.
Oh, you're looking to see if they're
Yeah, I'm moving my head. That's pretty good.
I can bend it a little more if you like it a little tighter.
You're doing it in the back. This
Yeah,
back.
just kind of bend it forward a bit, I think, so it pitches a little better. All right.
Okay. I love it when we get here 2 minutes before.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's time to start. Oh my gosh, I gotta do this other thing too. Oh, never. No. I'm going like this because it hurt me to get from silly. Yes. Somebody has to do it. I know vitamins are. Really accurate.
No matter where you go, there's a place where you can take. But no man, that matter if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open. Let's be seen. Come share us. Let's play together. From love and be loved. From the best out to the turned out. From the bad word to the abuse. This door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Recognize everybody in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Muslim, Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Nice to see you all. Whoops, yeah, okay. I'm Reverend Tracy and delighted to welcome you here. If you're visiting us for the first time, please know that wherever you are on your spiritual path, there is a place for you. And if you're not in this room and joining us online, we say hello and welcome. We're happy to have you here. We know that in spirit there are no walls, there is only consciousness. And in that consciousness, we are connected as a loving, supportive, and fun community. So let's get started. Our practitioner today on platform is the lovely Diane Clements. And Diane is available for prayer. If you have not had spiritual support from a practitioner before, I encourage you to try it. She'll be happy to take a moment and support you with whatever is going on in your life. And if something occurs to you when you're not actually in the building and you'd like prayer, we have a couple ways you can do that too. There's a request and form in the back that you can submit to. You can send us an email at prayer@ClaremontCSL.org. You can also call us, and there's an option on the phone line to leave a confidential message. And all of those will get you to our practitioner core, and they will be happy to know truth for you, to know your life in its best possible form. That's what we do. We have some fabulous music this morning. We welcome back the man of many hats, Drag. Reverend Drag is here. He'll be playing for us. And with that, I think maybe we can get started. I'd like to start us off by having us stand up and sing Spirit is in This Place. Words are in the program. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Breathe the room with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. All right. So we're going to take all that energy that we just stirred up in this room and bring it into that heart space. Take a breath, take it all in, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Breathe into that sanctuary within. The sound of the bowl just resonate with that place within you that knows only peace, only connection, only joy, only love. For it is here that we remember that you and I and Spirit are one.
And as we settle now into this peaceful presence, We give grateful thanks for our spiritual center, for the freedom to worship, to learn, to fellowship with our friends. We are grateful for our ministers, for our musicians, for our practitioners, and our fabulous sound crew, and for all the volunteers that play a part of putting this service together for us. And today we open our hearts, we open our minds for the message that will be given, knowing that what is said is going to resonate with us and inspire us. And so it is. And my reading is taken from a friend of mine that I read once in a while. He's a retired minister. I just love the way he writes. His name is Dr. Larry King. And he wrote, "In What Religious Science Teaches, Ernest Holmes explains that our gateway to creativity and inspiration and is through our connection to God. The Spirit has placed divine intuition within everyone, and this divine instruction is the gateway through which the inspiration of the Almighty enters our mind. And that is why, in the book of Psalms from the Bible, there is a little verse that tells us to lift up our gates. To lift up our gates means to open our minds and realize all the possibilities out there. So today, we allow Spirit to flow through our intuition to provide an influx of new paths, new ideas, new ways of looking at things, new inspirations. And we stay quiet in the expectation of our good, for we know it's coming. And we are secure in knowing that as changes occur, we welcome them and know eventually we will see them as changes for good.
Good morning. The piece that I'm going to play, it doesn't seem like it's very emotional, but I chose it for a reason. It's the Forrest Gump Suite. I'm going to play some of it, not all of it, but some of it. And the reason I chose it is because I got onto this tangent in my mind about how, when there's a lot of strong emotions moving through us, when we just allow them, what a difference that is as opposed to trying to stifle them or to stoke the fire of them. In Forrest, he went with life. He didn't push against life. He didn't try to force it back, push it forward. He didn't try to make things happen so much as he just allowed. He had a simplicity, yet a wisdom in that simplicity. And so that's what I bring to the table today is the simplicity of allowing whatever storms arise within, allowing them to just blow.
Thank you. Pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain. There you go. So today, we light our candle for pathways to peace. That we may find creative ways to invoke it, to implement it, to live by it, to heal with it. Because heaven knows we need it. So this month we're talking about a change in the weather, talking about the change of seasons and how we too are subject to the rhythms of nature. They happen within us as well as in the world around us. And today we're focusing specifically on those inner emotional storms that occur. Storm watch, it's called. And California makes me laugh. I mean, I grew up here, I lived here my whole life, but although I have lived other places, places with real weather. And when you say storm watch in Iowa, it's a little different than storm watch on the 5 o'clock news on Channel 5. Because we get a storm watch when it sprinkles. Oh, there's rain, everybody slow down. And it's not to say we don't prepare, if you have patio furniture, you bring in the cushions, that's the wise thing to do. But the truth is, the weather blows through, and whether it lands on us or moves on to some other state, we still are subject to the changes that occur in the environment around us. And emotional storms can derail us, right? So we're talking about how as the seasons change, as the light changes in the atmosphere, as our world situation continues to change and evolve, as our relationships expand and contract and expand again, we are constantly riding this wind of our own feelings. And it's a very human, it's part of what makes us human. And my proposition today is to look at this very human expression of life that shows up in our emotions and see it through the spiritual lens, which we also are, the divinity that we also are, this dance between the two. It's really easy to feel like a victim to our feelings, to get blindsided by something we didn't expect, to have someone say something out of the blue that completely changes our view of our relationship or where we work or what our kids think of us. We can easily have very high, excited, joyful days and very low, despairing days. And sometimes it's really hard to see how we got to either one. Part of that difficulty we have sometimes in handling our emotions comes from the culture we grew up in. The thing about feelings is that we feel them in our body, we think about them, right? We have opinions about what we're feeling. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it right? Is it wrong? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? I should be much nicer. I shouldn't be so upset. We carry all this stuff, this messaging that we get. It makes us afraid of our feelings. It made me afraid of my feelings. In other words, if I had a bad feeling, whatever that negative was, whether it was anger or fear or just general crying as a kid, that meant I was a bad person, right? Or we think that that's something that women especially take on. For men, it's like if you show any emotion at all, it's a sign of weakness. That's a cultural belief, but it's in the environment that we swim in. And unless we're conscious, we've taken that in and we continue to live that out. We continue to have an emotional response to something and immediately tell ourselves whether that's okay or not. The truth is, it's always okay, and we're always and choice as to what we do with it. You know, it's true that our feelings lead to the way we behave in the world, right? So somebody who's mean and nasty and cranky and suffering is going to lash out at the people around them. It's going to impact the world around them. Someone who is loved and secure and happy and well off is going to be pleasant and generous and impact the world around them. What we think about how we feel affects our physical being also. We all know that stress creates tension and disease in the body. We all know that laughter releases endorphins and harmonizes our physical symptoms. We know that the things that we think can cause us to feel a certain way or believe a certain thing. And we also know that our body can inform the way that we think about things. If we're in chronic pain, we're not really going to be all that at ease in the world. So this body, mind, spirit is not just woo-woo stuff. It really is an interconnected expression of life. And we do our own healing, we do our self-care when we approach life on all levels. Most of us grew up with some kind of messaging about what was okay and not okay to feel and express, right? So we might have learned that some feelings were dangerous or untrustworthy, or they would cause us to be alone, or would create distress in others. We learned ways of expressing feelings that suited the people around us, or we learned to defend against the feelings to protect ourselves and others. The thing about not expressing your feelings is that they don't go away. They show up in other ways. They come out, as my therapist used to say, sideways. You know, they come up in physical symptoms, or they come up in making snarky remarks at someone who didn't do anything to you, really. You're just in a bad mood because we're not taking care of ourselves, right? So to get back to our core self, our creative, steady, compassionate, loving, present day, present moment self, we need to learn how to be with our feelings as they happen and trust that our minds and our bodies know what to do with them. Right? If you've ever been around hyperactive kids who are having a tantrum in the kitchen, there are a couple of observations you can make. If you send them outside to run around and play, they'll come back happier. If you let the tantrum proceed and blow itself out, and the toddler then falls asleep, they wake up happy. It's like, it was here, it went, it's gone, I'm done. Unlike most adults who get mad and stay mad forever. I mean, maybe you apologized and maybe I accepted, but not really. Right? That's how we think about things. So now we have control over. Science of Mind teaches we can change the way we think, and that changes our experience of life. And that's a good thing. Now be careful, because Science of Mind does not teach that you bypass the way that you feel. We don't go around singing Kumbaya when the world is falling apart. Those feelings are very real to us. They're very authentic. They are legit. We just need to remember they're not the whole story. There's a saying in sports that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Right? So when we're talking about a storm watch, when there's an emotional storm on the horizon, if we stay up with our spiritual practices of going within, of connecting to that higher self, of being around people who support us, of reading things that inspire us, then when the storm hits, we're prepared. We know that we are anchored in something greater than the circumstances we find ourselves in. And we're better equipped to navigate, to move forward, to move through. Because truly, the only way to get past a feeling is to move through it. It will go away if you just let it be for a minute. Like that toddler who screams and gets mad and throws his toys, and 5 minutes later he's playing with the dog and everything's happy and he wants a snack. Snacks do help emotions. I don't know if you all know that, but they do. So Sue Morter wrote a book called The Energy Codes. And she said that if we can start to think of emotions as energies, as effects that we can anchor or expand, we won't be afraid of sadness. We won't deflect our shame. Instead, we realize that each of these emotions is playing a role in the tides of ever-expanding universe, acting to direct our attention to a spot where our energy is dispersed or fragmented, an aspect of our soulful self that we've not yet awakened to. The fact that we have an energy that needs to be expressed in some way is the very human part of us. And if we recognize it as energy and give our attention to it as energy, then it's a little bit easier to do something with it without making ourselves wrong, or without making ourselves feel superior, or without beating ourselves up. If we know that energy must be expressed, then we find ways to express it. The artists in the room know that. You can paint your feelings right onto the canvas. You can pound them on the keys. You can sing in your car really, really loud, even if you can't sing. Those are all good ways to express your energy. We have ways when we pay attention. Science of Mind tells us, recognize where you are. Be here now. Feel it now. See it now. Understand it now. And the way we want to understand it is through our spiritual lens, through our spiritual perspective, through that practice that we do that says life is more than what we see on given day. If we can do that, then we'll remember that everything we think isn't necessarily true. And that the words that we think impact the way that we feel, which in turn impact the way that we act, which in turn impact the way that we feel, and so on and so forth. So if we are conscious of the emotion, if we're willing to feel it first, then we can move into a place of the best way to respond, the healthiest way to respond, the kindest way to respond. Eckhart Tolle says, watch the thought, feel the emotion, observe the reaction. Don't make a personal problem out of them. That's what we do, right? We make it a personal problem. It's not a problem, it's an experience. We're meant to experience life. And part of that experience is the emotional connection we feel with each other, with our faith, with the community, with the world, with nature. We're meant to express that, feel it, know it, love it, care for ourselves so that we are not at the mercy of everybody else's storms. Now, I think the best gift that we get from our emotional awareness is when we treat our feelings as signposts, like a street sign. They tell us where we are, right? They point out to us a place that is unhealed or vulnerable or tender or sensitive. They show us where the cracks are in our thought armor that says, this is who I am and I'm in the world and that's great, except when you're not, right? So they remind us, they just say, hey, over here on this street corner, yeah, we have a little something that needs attention. That's all it is. So you feel it. You let the discomfort happen. You know, you haven't died from discomfort yet. You're all still here, right? All of those things you thought were going to kill you, remember your teenage years? You knew you were going to die several times a week or a day. And you're here. That continues. We will continue to live. What we're doing here is deciding how we want to live, how we want to be our best selves, no matter what's going on. Now, I said before, you know, that the feelings are real. The situations that generate a response in us are things that are happening. You know, maybe you have a fear of the unknown. Maybe your job is in jeopardy. Maybe the political situation hits really close to home for you or someone in your family or your friends. That's not to be denied. We're not meant to say, oh, well, all is well, God's got this, it's okay. That's not it. It's more like, this is real for me. What is it that I need right now? What is it that I want right now? Those street signs that point out the corners where the cracks are in our armor, so to speak, those are showing us a place where we need tending to. You know, I need a little bit more financial security in my life. I need to know that my family's got my back if something should happen. I need to know that I've got friends that are looking out for me or that I can talk to, right? So we allow it to move through us. We know it for what it is, and then we choose to take care of ourselves or our family members that are reaching out to us or our friends that are reaching out to us. We choose to take action not based on a reaction to a situation, but based on the spiritual truth that we can trust life, and whatever message this emotion has for me, I can learn from it and let it go. See, the thing is, we don't stay there. As rough as the grief is in a given moment, as hard as the fear is in a given situation, we don't ever stay there. The weather always changes. And Miss Sheldon says, you know, you are the sky, everything else is weather. Everything else blows by. There may be clouds, but the sun will come out. There may be wind and rain and sleet and lightning and thunder, and it will pass. What we want to do is support each other through the process. What we want are spiritual practices that take care of our hearts in that time. What we want are friends or family we can reach out to and talk things through with. Again, it's energy being released. Being able to talk about something gives you a place to put that tension that is building up in you. To talk it through is a very spiritual practice. Just choose your listener wisely, right? Don't try to talk to someone who doesn't get you. You don't want to talk to someone who wants to fix you or tell you how to fix everything. I don't know about you, but all that does is get my back up and make me look cranky. I want to come here. I want to talk to these people. I want to call my practitioner or my minister. I want to call my best friend who's known me through every other change and upheaval in my life and can remind me of who I am and what else I know and how I've come through this before and how it's okay. Right this minute, I'm okay. That's what I want. That's what we all want. So the words we use with each other when we're listening or whether we're speaking, or the words we use within ourselves when we talk about how we are or what our situation is or how we're feeling in the moment, they matter. Science of Mind teaches that words matter. Our word is creative. Sarah Tuttle Singer wrote, words aren't just tools, they're architecture. They shape the way we think, the way we feel, the way we tell the truth. We want to tell our own truth, and if that means we're saying that our heart is hurting, that we are afraid, that we are feeling depressed, that we are overwhelmed, that we are joyful, that we are ecstatic about some happy thing, even while other horrible things are going on. When we are true to ourselves, when we use the words that reflect the spiritual perspective of even this born. Even this is growing me in some way. Even this, I am open to whatever the message or the lesson or the uprising is in me. That is how we move through hard times. That is how we stand next to each other. That is how we continue to grow. Pema Chodron also says we might feel that somehow we should try and eradicate these feelings of pleasure and pain, loss and gain, prize and blame, fame and disgrace. A more practical approach would be to get to know them, to see how they hook us, to see how they color our perception of reality. Because that's what's happening. In the deepest of emotional spaces, our perspective tends to be very narrow. Someone close to you dies. You can't look away from the grief. That's all there is in that moment. And there is nothing wrong with that. That is where we need to be. And it's still not all of you. There will still be moments when you sort of come up for air, or someone comes to visit you and actually makes you laugh. Or there will be that sense of peace that you have when you wake up from a long nap after a long cry, like the toddler who finishes the tantrum. Those things are healing, not to be labeled good or bad, to be understood as the experience of life that continues to shape us, that architecture that we build with. And we're called to be kind to ourselves. Because when we can do that for ourselves, we can do it for others. I don't have to fix you. If I recognize your pain and sit with you, that is enough. If I see that you're hurting and you don't want to talk about it, that is enough, that I care enough to check. If you do want to talk about it and I stop what I'm doing to listen, that is enough. We do it for ourselves as well. When we take off a half day from work, when we take ourselves for a walk, when we eat chocolate now and again. Those are all ways of tapping into the heart space that says, see me, hear me, feel me, care for me. Be compassionate. Now, if we get stuck, which we do, we all get stuck at some point. You get into that cycle, that loop. Anybody know the 3 a.m. loop? You wake up thinking about something and it just goes over and over and over again and again and again. All right, so the fastest way to break out of a loop like that, whether 3 a.m. or any other time, is gratitude. It's gratitude. It's finding a blessing, if not there, then somewhere in your life. You know, it's I can remember my aunt telling me that, you know, I really didn't want to help dry the dishes. I mean, I really didn't want to help dry the dishes. I didn't want to do the dishes at all. And she said, you know, having to dry dishes is a good thing. It tells you that you have food to eat. Now, most 10-year-olds could care less because they have food and they don't even think about it and take it for granted, right? But the words stayed with me. It's a good problem to have to dry the dishes. It means you had to wash the dishes. Why did you wash them? They were dirty. Why were they dirty? Because you just had dinner. And that was a good thing. So when we are in the depths of something, and we're looking for a way out, we're looking for a way to stop that circle in the middle of the night in our heads. You know, they tell you instead of counting sheep, count your blessings. Find a blessing anywhere. If you can find one related to whatever it is you're spinning about, all the better. But it's okay to start with your kids, your house, your soft bed. Anything will do. As Ernest Holmes says, gratitude is causative. It is not an effect. It is a cause of things happening. And if we can focus on gratitude, even for a short time, it shifts the energy within us, right? Our attitude changes. The feeling we have changes. Our outlook brightens somewhat, or at least calms down. Broadens our perspective. It reminds us we're more than any given problem. So what's your favorite gratitude thought you go to when you know you need to do something positive for yourself? What are you grateful for?
My health.
Health, home, family, job, friends.
I would say I'm alive. I feel it.
If you feel yourself alive. Yes, yes. Beauty. Right? Yeah. It's like I get really tired of feeding the cats. Their food is stinky. There's 3 of them. They all meow like they haven't eaten in 6 months every time I go to feed them. It's annoying. They want to eat a half hour earlier each day. If they have their way, they'd be having dinner by noon in a couple of weeks. But I'm grateful for them. They're also funny. They also race around the house. They also entertain me. They sleep on their back. They're all fluffy. They're cute. It's a good problem. I can find the joy in my life even when I experience everything other than joy. But it's a conscious choice. It is a spiritual practice. And that's what we're about. There's always a message in whatever's happening to us, because life is always for us. And even if we're on the darkest street we've ever been on in our minds, metaphorically, there is still light. There is still a friend around the corner. There is still an option for opening up to something new. There's still a willingness in us to live. And if we call it energy instead of calling it bad, we can find a way to express it. We can find a way to use that to lift ourselves up. Storms pass. Always. And you're still here. You've made it through all the storms that have happened up until now. You'll make it through this one, whatever it is. And the thing is, we're learning how to manage it better all the time. Namaste. So I invite you to join me in a moment of centering prayer. Bringing ourselves to that consciousness within. Finding a place in our physical being that is calm, that is relaxed, that is open. Letting ourselves relax into this openness, into this trusting knowledge of the divine self that all is well in this moment, right now. Reminding ourselves that this power of life, this energy of living, is ever present. It is an infinite source and supply for everything that we need or desire. And that this energy is wise and creative, that allow to flow the ideas, the inspiration that come from being open, always lift us and lead us into our next greater yet to be. And knowing this about myself, knowing this for all who are hearing my voice, I know too that this is the way of life in the greater world. That those who would live in harmony have an impact on this world. That those who choose to love and collaborate have an impact on this world. That each of us choosing to be kind and compassionate within and without changes the world for the better. And so I call forth the power of creation in this moment in my life in all of life. Knowing that love is the fuel for all manifestation, and that as I love, a greater world is created, and it starts when I love within so that I might be present in that. And I speak a word of recognition. I can see in your eyes that this love is in you, that this desire for connection is ever present, that the opportunity for peace and harmony and balance are here now between us, and that the way is made clear, that as I open my heart and open my mind, the path is open before me. The opportunities are infinite. The possibilities show up again and again and again. And life is changed for the better. It can only be so, for this is the way in which Spirit works. Love can only give more love. Love can only give to life, and life can only give to itself. And for this I am grateful. Grateful for the many gifts, for the blessings, for the things known and unknown, seen and unseen that are moving now and yet to be, bringing ever greater good. Right here, right now. Always and in all ways. And as I know this to be true, I know that it unfolds perfectly in the consciousness of the one mind. For there is a spiritual law which says this must be so. And knowing it is so, I can let it go and let it be. And so it is. All right, we have an affirmation. You'll find it in your bulletin. And I invite you to say it along with me. Or, no, I don't. I invite you to repeat after me. That way anyone online can do it too. I am fully aware of my range of emotions.
I am fully aware of my range of emotions.
I listen, feel them completely, and allow for the possibility of a new way of seeing.
And allow for the possibility of a new way of seeing.
I lean into divine trust, and all is well.
I lean into divine trust, and all is well.
And so it is. All right, let's welcome Reverend Draft back to the keyboard, please.
So this next piece that I'm going to play, I wrote actually a couple of years ago. I think I played it once here. And what inspired me to write it was thinking of St. Francis and how St. Francis just quietly ambled along in life. And yet, I like this, he leaned into divine trust and understood all was well because he really just had the clothes on his back. And where I think about this with what Reverend Tracy is talking about today is leaning into that understanding even when you're feeling so strongly about something that anything will be all right. Believe me, I have been there. So this is about being able to have that simple approach, like I mentioned with Forrest Gump. And to, even when you feel that storm inside, still be able to amble, to trust, to lean into that divine understanding. And this is a very simple piece too.
ushers to come forward in our time of contribution. And to know that all that we do, all that we share, all that we give, always comes back to us one way or another. And that we give in love, and that giving goes out into the world as love, and we can always use more love, yes? So I invite you to say with me our prosperity affirmation, which is also in the bulletin. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous and blessed. For those of you online, there's a giving button, a donate button on our website, or also in our e-blast. And there are also envelopes in the back, and a QR code, and a couple other ways that you can give, because you want us to be here, right? Hey, that's what we do. Just checking. All right. So a little bit about what's happening this week. Well, let's start with the chocolate. It's the See's Candy fundraiser season. So here's the cool thing about the See's Candy fundraiser is that you can have your friends just go online and pick out what they want. It'll get mailed right to them, and you don't have to do anything except get them to order from you. You can also take that little piece of paper around that you've been doing for the last 20, 30 years for every sale that your kids ever did, and get people to sign up and put their names and what they want, and cash the check and turn that money into us, and we'll send it in and get that all back for you to distribute. You can also order for yourself, which I find especially effective, because if I order something for me, then I kind of feel like I have to order something for my friends or my family. And the best news is if you order now, you'll eat all the candy before Christmas and you'll have to order again. Yeah, that's kind of what I go to. All right, so we have information about See's Candy. If you have questions, check with me, check with Shelly. And there's a flyer in the back that's got all the details on how to do that. And even if you don't order right away, start talking it up. Just remind your friends how much they really appreciate See's, okay? We have this Wednesday at 5:30, you said, right now?
It's the 22nd.
Oh, the 22nd, not this Wednesday. This Wednesday is meditation at 6:30 on Zoom with Lisa. Next Wednesday, next Wednesday, is our Interfaith Prayer Circle again. This is our opportunity to come together with other faiths to each of us taking turns answering a question about kind of where we are in our lives with the state of the world, the state of your families, the state of your heart, and offering prayers from all different traditions in support of the community. So that's here in the chapel on the 22nd, and do this in conjunction with you.
It says 6, but we're gonna try to get it kicked off.
5:30, 5:30, not 6, 5:30. We'll have it in the announcements that way as well, 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay, about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, depending on how many people are here. We've done this will be our third one, and it is amazing how much people talk about the shift in energy in themselves, how much calmer they feel, how much more centered they feel when they've had a chance to speak what's on their heart, to hear what other people say, not to help, not to fix, not to help conversation, but simply to express and be heard. So we invite you to come. If you haven't done anything like that, you might be surprised at just how much of a difference it makes. Saturday, the 15th of November is our next Reiki Share. That's also here in the chapel. If you know anyone that is a Reiki level 2 or Reiki master that might want to participate in the program, we would invite them to come as well. If you have questions or ideas, talk to Sue here. And if you haven't come yourself to get the benefit of Reiki, you might want to consider doing that too. It's an amazing energy work that does wonders for all of us. We have, well, before I go on to that, I don't know if you noticed or not, but we have no windows. We want to say thank you to the Breens. These windows were made possible in part by Tom Breen, who's part of his legacy gift to us that made this possible. All the windows in this building have been replaced, including those really cute retro little louvered windows in the bathrooms. I used to have those in my house, I remember those. Yes, everything's been replaced. They are energy efficient. As you can tell today, they keep the air in. We might have to go ahead and use the air conditioning a little bit more next week. I'm a little warm up here. Aren't they beautiful? Can we say thank you to the Breens for the windows? Right. Okay, so coming up, save the date, Saturday, December 6th will be our Christmas dinner dance fundraiser. This will be an opportunity to eat good food, perhaps have a glass of wine, bid on some fabulous silent auction items, and raffle baskets, lots of raffle baskets. So this is always a great time, and it'll be in Holmes Hall. We'll have more details for you, but it'll be Saturday, December 6th. So mark that in your calendar. And
In the evening.
yeah, late afternoon evening. It'll be dinner dance, over dinner. You got it. What else do we have? Anything else? Yes, Chris.
Village Venture.
Oh, thank you. It's not on my page. Village Venture is coming up October 25th. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. There are time slots. If you can come and be in our booth just to say hi to people and smile and show them what nice, friendly people we are. We would love to have you. Now, I noticed on the sign-up sheet, it looks like there's room for one person per time slot, but we want as many people per time slot as possible. First of all, it's much more fun if you're back there with your friends. And second of all, there will be too many people for you to talk to for there just to be one of you. So pick a time that works for you. Come for a couple hours or stay all day. We're always looking for people to help us set up in the morning and help us take down in the afternoon. There are slots for that also on the television. Heaven knows what those pumpkins are going to do if you get too close, right? Good job, Monty. Wait, check it out.
Also, in our booth, we do pet lessons.
Oh, yes, we do.
So if you like pets, it's a fun thing to do. We have special little cards with the blessing on them and that kind of thing, but it's sort of a fun thing.
So if you've been to Village Venture, you know that a lot of people come in their Halloween costumes. It's the last weekend of the month in October. A lot of the kids are dressed up. A lot of the dogs are dressed up. And they do come over to get a pet blessing. Anybody can do it. There's something you can read. We fill out the pet's name. It's very fun. People love it. And it's just a great way to be seen and visible in the community. So, and there's always time to go shopping yourself and then come back and help out some more. So, all right. So that's coming up. What else? We got it all? Oh, I also wanted to mention, we had announced it several weeks ago, the passing of Helen Toth, one of our longtime members. The family, her son will be coming down after the first of the year, and a service, a celebration of life will probably happen in January. We don't have a date yet, we don't have details yet, but I'm working with her friend who is working on her estate and will keep us posted as to when that will be. So we will have a celebration of life for her. And I was telling someone earlier in the week about when we were talking about the dinner dance, Helen always came with Carl and danced up a storm all night. So we'll have to have an extra chair for her this time. Yeah. All right, I think we've got it all, my friends. Let's stand up, move to the sides, and sing a little Eddie Walker Jr.
Take a look at her sitting next to you. Take a look to her. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love. We come together.
Sorry, what?
We had 6 people online today.
6, that's fantastic. Tell Casey that. She will love you. When Reverend Tracy was speaking, did it sound okay? Did it sound too tinny or anything? Or...
In the beginning, it kind of did, but after the
Okay, yeah, because when I took out the picture, maybe something like that. I took that out. And then I was trying to just a little more patient than I started. And then it's about as balanced as I can get it. Yeah, it's one thing you can like. And we are so well there, so there you go. Okay.
From cars?
In cars, yeah, well, actually, I don't know the days we played this song. We wrote it for the new movie. I wrote it. I'm not sure they used it, but it was still was part of their whole repertoire for the movie. So it included, if you got the sound, was it soundtrack? This one is the movie. This is on the album. Like on the highway, it's on there. Yeah, well, I think because we're talking about storms and stuff, and you get over it and stuff like that. Ooh, sounded really good. How did it feel better?
Yeah, it actually did. It felt really good. It wasn't bothering me. It wasn't moving around as much.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay, I'm coming.
Yes. Yes.
You went off today.
I went off
You
today.
went off today.
How did I go off? Did I get you? Yes. My work here is done. Good.
Awesome. I have been able to tell you, I will pick back up with the podcast.
Okay.
I have been so focused.
Yeah, you've got more things going on, so no, that's just fine. You just let me know when. I had a question though about getting the talks posted on the website. Did we used to send those to Marjani's email and then Daisy would post them, or are we supposed to be posting
All
them?
of the videos, they don't
Yeah.
update. I see that.
Yeah, they need to be on the website, the most current ones especially. So we should, once we've got them, we should be posting them like the next day or a couple days. So if you have trouble doing that, let me know, because we can send them and have Dolly post them. But if you know how to post them or have access to it, or Jeff does, somebody does,
Okay,
we need to
yeah.
put them up.
Actually, I gotta get the last one, just the audio part of it.
Yeah.